Rain wasn't just falling in Manhattan that night. I felt the impact before I heard it. Metal shrieked against metal. Warm blood trickled down my temple. I fumbled for my phone and pressed speed dial for husband. I called 3 times. No one answered. The 4th time, it went through. But it was his assistant's voice. I got into a car accident on the Manhattan highway. Please help me.
Please stop calling. Mr. Wilson is busy. He told you to stop bothering him with this kind of trick.
No, I'm not lying. I'm really... The line went dead. My words died in my throat. 4 years of being a wealthy man's wife, and he still saw me as nothing, but a cunning wife who would do anything to get his attention. I couldn't hold on any longer. Everything went black. When I woke up, I had been taken to a hospital. Where is your husband? I turned my head toward the TV on the wall. Clive was walking the red carpet with his ex-girlfriend, the star Angelena Stewart. He claimed he was busy with work. When his wife was hanging by a thread, he was walking the red carpet with his ex-girlfriend. I gave a bitter smile, signed the discharge papers, and left. I didn't go back to our home. Instead, I called Zoe.
Stay put at the hospital entrance. I'm coming to get you.
The next morning, I only went back to the penthouse to get my passport and laptop. But I found an ultrasound report in Clive's jacket.
Angelena Stewart? Found out she was pregnant 3 days ago? So my husband lied to me. He said he was going to Boston for a merger, but he was actually accompanying his ex-girlfriend to the obstetrics department?
What are you doing?
He came back through the door without me noticing. My hand trembled. The ultrasound fell to the floor. Pale and helpless, I looked up at him.
You went through my pockets?
Shouldn't you be explaining to me why this was in your pocket?
Angelena is going through a crisis. She's a public figure. The media could tear her apart at any moment, so I arranged for her to go to the hospital discreetly.
Clive, maybe you never really saw me as your wife at all.
You have everything, Analia. A $10 million penthouse, an unlimited credit card, the Wilson name. What more do you want?
You think I married you for your money? He scoffed.
Isn't it? Our marriage was a business arrangement.
4 years ago, I fell for him at a banquet. My father treated my marriage like a business deal, but I thought it was fate. 4 years, and I still couldn't melt his heart. Clive, let's end this. I want a divorce. I pulled down a battered old suitcase from the top shelf. Inside was the voice acting career trophy I had treasured for so many years, the only thing I was taking with me. I picked up my suitcase and walked toward the apartment door. He was getting angry.
Divorce? Don't be ridiculous.
He caught my arm.
If you dare walk out that door, I'll freeze all your credit cards. You'll be broke!
I don't want your money. I pulled my arm free and walked away without looking back. He stood there frozen in shock. My stomach ached with hunger. It had been almost 24 hours since I last ate. I grabbed a turkey sandwich and a bottle of water, walked to the register, and took out a bank card. Ma'am, this card doesn't work. Try it again. Still no. Ma'am, do you have another card? I dug out several cards from my wallet and handed them over one by one. Every single one was declined. The people behind me started getting impatient. I opened the hidden account on my phone. $1,450,000. The money was saved from my voice acting work before the marriage. Once I touched it, Clive's lawyers would find out. They would say I was hiding assets during the divorce. There was no guarantee I would get to keep it.
Sorry, if you can't pay, step aside.
I lowered my head. I counted the last cash in my pocket. 3 crumpled dollar bills and a handful of quarters. I'll just take the water. I put the change on the counter. I grabbed the water bottle and walked out. Laughter followed me out. I crouched by the roadside. My stomach still ached, but my pride hurt more. My phone vibrated. A voice message from Clive.
Hungry yet? Come home, apologize, and I'll lift the freeze on your cards. Don't be stubborn, Analia.
I pressed delete.
This is only temporary. Starfall, the voice actor, will return soon.
I called my best friend Zoe for help. She took me in. She didn't ask any questions. She just gave me a warm hug. Welcome back, Starfall. You can stay as long as you want. The walk-in closet can be your recording studio. I opened my laptop. The Pantheon saga was casting. Queen Aethelgard, a warrior who'd lost everything but refused to give up. That's the one. I put on my headphones and closed my eyes. I thought of the car accident, the frozen cards, the ultrasound photo on the floor.
You think you can break me by taking my crown? I built this kingdom from the bodies of men like you!
Zoe stood at the doorway, stunned.
My God, Analia, your performance was amazing. This role will be yours.
This was my first recording in 4 years. With a nervous heart, I dragged the audio into an email. God, please let this work. This is about my comeback. It's about whether I can take my mother and live independently. My mother had been in a private hospital for a long time, with her medical bills covered by the Graves Family Trust. That was my father's last act of decency towards her, but it also became the rope that choked me. The email was sent successfully. Audition, Queen Aethelgard, Starfall. On the other side of the city, Gaylon Webb, the director of the Pantheon saga, was listening to Angelena's audition, frowning with displeasure.
No, it's too mechanical. She got so many lines wrong. She didn't even bother to memorize her lines. I need to find another voice actor. There's a voice actress named Starfall who submitted a demo to the inbox. Do you want to take a look? Never heard that name before. She's a nobody. Well, let's just have a listen first.
It's like you're hearing a voice you've always imagined but never actually heard.
This is the voice of Queen Aethelgard I've always imagined. Quick, contact her. Set up a meeting for tomorrow.
The next day, I received a message that I was to meet the director. I was so happy I couldn't sleep at night. And then Clive called at 5 in the morning.
Analia, I need the gray tie. You come home and find it right now and I might unfreeze one credit card for you.
No need. Don't contact me unless it's about the divorce. I'm very busy.
Busy doing what? Sleeping on your friend's hard, crappy sofa? Stop this nonsense. Come back now. Our marriage isn't just about the two of us.
If you don't agree to the divorce, you'll soon receive divorce papers from my lawyer. With that, I blocked him. After I hung up, Clive got so angry that he smashed a vase.
She actually hung up on me!
Soon you'll see how harsh the world is. You can't handle any job. In the end, you'll still come back to me.
The next morning, Angelena called.
Klein, did you see Twitter?
I've been working so hard on my acting, but they call me nothing but a pretty face. The director wants someone else to dub for me. My stomach hurts.
Don't worry. I'll take care of it. Stay off social media and rest for the baby. Tomorrow I have to go see Gaylon Webb. This role belongs to Angelena.
The next day, I wore a baseball cap and a thrift store trench coat. Today I was meeting Gaylon, but just as the elevator doors were about to close, a hand stopped them. Klein walked in.
Gaylon Webb is auditioning a voice actor named Starfall. Never even heard of her. No way I'm letting her succeed.
Panic rose inside me. He seemed to feel my gaze. His eyes glanced over me, and I quickly looked down. As I was getting out of the elevator, he suddenly stopped me.
Wait. Do you know where Director Gaylon's office is?
I shook my head, and he didn't look at me again. Just as I was breathing a sigh of relief, my phone rang. It was Gaylon, and at the same time I saw Gaylon walking out of his office. My heart skipped a beat. This was bad. In desperation, I knocked over the coffee in a nearby office worker's hand. The coffee spilled all over Clive.
What are you doing?
I'm sorry. So sorry. I shoved a few $100s in cash into the employee's hand and pointed at Clive's clothes. Please take him to the lounge and help him clean up. The office worker led Clive to the lounge to change his clothes, but he suddenly stopped and looked back, puzzled.
That voice sounded a little familiar.
I quickly walked over to Gaylon and followed him into his office. It wasn't until the door closed that I dared to breathe.
Your Starfall?
Yes. The audition that followed went very smoothly.
Your voice reminded me why I make films. The contract is here. Take a look.
I skimmed the contract. I'll sign, but for some personal reasons my identity must remain secret. No press tours, no photo shoots, just the voice.
No problem.
I picked up the pen and signed my name on the dotted line. Starfall. I had barely left the office when Clive stormed in.
Who the hell is Starfall? Why would you refuse Angelena for a nobody?
Clive, even though you're an investor, please respect my work. This decision is for our mutual benefit.
He stepped out of the office and roared at his assistant.
Find out who Starfall is.
Pay her to back out of the contract. Tell her not to mess with Angelena, or I'll make sure she's blacklisted.
I stood around the corner, listening to his rage, with a smirk on my face. Clive, you only care about Angelena, but this time, I will never give this role to her. I realized my visitor's pass was missing. My real name was on it. If Clive saw it, he would know that I was Starfall. It must have been dropped in the lobby. I looked everywhere in the lobby. A voice stopped me from behind.
Analia, looking for this?
Cole Hall, Clive's friend. I never expected him to also be the CEO of Apex Media.
Analia, you're Starfall. The voice actor Gaylon interviewed today? Clive has no idea. He even asked me to investigate you.
No, you've got it wrong. I'm here on behalf of a friend. I watched as the elevator numbers were about to reach the first floor. I hurriedly tried to snatch back the visitor's pass, but Cole wouldn't give it back to me.
That sounds like a lie. I need to call Gaylon down to confirm.
Before I could answer, the elevator doors opened. Clive stepped out.
Cole? Who are you talking to?
I snatched the visitor's pass and turned to leave, but Clive grabbed my hand.
You were that woman in the elevator just now?
He recognized my coat.
Clive, take a closer look. Who is she?
I couldn't hide my identity anymore. My hat was taken off.
Analia? It's you!